Well, the Mario movie is out, the Super Mario Galaxy film, and we showed you all those figures that Jakks Pacific did coming from the first wave, I'm going to say, of the Mario movie line. But there are also some great characters out from the World of Nintendo line. I don't know if it's called World of Nintendo line anymore. It's just Super Mario on the packaging. But they have an assortment of figures, a couple waves that came out. Some we saw teased last year in STCC, like Birdo, which finally hit shelves. And some were little surprises because we did not see announcements on them, like Nabbit, a new version of the Chain Chomp, and this Boomerang Mario. So a whole bunch of new ones. It's some repackages. We saw like Boo was reissued, Fire Mario and Luigi, the Piranha Plant, Iggy again. So there have been some reissues, but yeah, by and far we got some newer ones in the line. A little variety in the packaging, both between the newer style where it gets to show off some of the character features and the older style where you have the other characters in the wave on there. But they're all kind of carrying this new design of the more simple, nicer than the previous one that had World of Nintendo and focused more on the character back then. So a little bit of variety here, some classic characters that we're glad to finally get in the line. So let's just check them out. Gonna start with Birdo because that is the one I was most excited about coming out because we have not had Birdo in the 4-inch line, but in the 2.5-inch line. Birdo has all the hallmarks here. You can see the giant bow, the ring on there, great detail. All that articulation we expect in the 4-inch line. I'm not gonna go through it. It's a standard articulation, but I mean, great job all around on Birdo. Really captured the look. Love it. Birdo, of course, from first introduced in Super Mario 2. The only issue I have with the figure is it comes with this question mark block instead of an egg, which is like Birdo's core function or accessories, spitting those eggs out of its nose. And right here, you can see the dark spot. It has a little depth in there, but Birdo does not have an egg to spit. Just this question block. Now, which really bothers me is they could have easily taken Yoshi's egg from any of the like 6 different colors of Yoshi figures they made, not paint the stripes on it, and you would have had an egg for Birdo. You already have the tooling for this. You just put less paint applications on it, saving you money, and then it could have been Birdo's egg. And look at that. It kind of perfect for the snout here. Just the right size to give it that look like it's shooting out of the snout. Why couldn't they just give us a white egg? They've done it for Yoshi, for the black Yoshi, the purple Yoshi, the yellow Yoshi, the orange Yoshi, the blue Yoshi, the green Yoshi. They just couldn't give us a clear egg out of any of those Yoshis, one without any paint applications on it, just pure white. That would have been great for Birdo. So a little disappointed in that. But otherwise, great figure. Now, we also had a 4-inch Chain Chomp finally in this line, coming with a block. I don't think we got a block that wasn't a question block before, so this is kind of cool with the texture on it. But this Chain Chomp chomps, so you can have it go around, and then it is limited by its, of course, reach from the post, which Mario usually jumps on in order to eliminate the Chain Chomp. And this has a suction, so you can just stick it somewhere and it will have a nice little suction. So there's a little flat spot on the bottom, so you can make it stand up so it won't roll around. Now, we previously had a 2.5-inch version. This one did not have articulating jaw. The chain is smaller. There is nothing at the other end of the chain. So, if you bought that one, it's, you have it. And now you have a nice big Chain Chomp, which could actually do that chomping function. And he just looks great. So I'm really happy with the way they designed this figure. I love how they gave it the little post. So that thought was put into it as well. So a great addition to your line, great background if you, like me, and you like to use it in your Switch version of the VR Mario circuit. It's great to have these little characters in there and add a little bit of, world building to your course that you're setting up. So, of course, we got this one. And then one of my favorites, finally getting it in the 4-inch line, is Nabbit. This weird little bunny guy that started off as like the background character stealing stuff from you and then became a playable character in some of the side scrollers. So we have Nabbit finally. He's got his bandana on there. Head doesn't articulate, I don't think, because of that bandana, but his arms articulate, bends at the elbows. His little mini legs articulate. And of course, he's got his little sack. So with the mushroom on and everything. So he looks great, toting that around. Perfect accessory for Nabbit. It wouldn't be Nabbit without this little bag he can't really nab much. So I'm glad that they included that in here. We need that accessory for Nabbit. So this was a great choice, just like with the chain chomp. I think that little block was a good accessory. I mean, the post to me is the accessory there, but Nabbit nailed it out of the park here with his little bag, and a great look for him. And I just realizing how much of this looks like the one Bowser Jr. is wearing as well. So this weird little bunny guy, finally getting him in the line. I think he looks great. It was another awesome selection for them to add to expand the 4-inch line. And then last but not least, we have Boomerang Mario. Now, we've gotten a version before where it was Cappy on top of a Boomerang Bro, and that was from Odyssey, but this is like older, just pure Boomerang Mario. He's got his helmet on for safety. He's got his shell, and he's got his front shell as well, looking like one of the Koopas of the Boomerang Bros. And he's got a blue boomerang. Now, Boomerang Bros, I believe it was a red or white boomerang with a red stripe or something like that. I lost mine, so I can't compare it. It's very frustrating. And then Pom Pom had the white boomerang with the pink stripe on it. So I think it's the same tooled boomerang. They're just changing the color here. But great figure. I mean, look, just love the detail. This is all newly tooled figure here with the shell and the body and the helmet. Looks great. Absolutely great. Love the little shininess of it. A lot of detail on him here. Good color application, the face, everything. They really pulled off this look for Boomerang Mario. So another great figure. This one is like just came out. I just found him this week. So brand new for 2026. Nabbit came out a couple weeks ago. I want to say maybe a month ago. So he's fairly new. The Chain Chomp came out newer, earlier in the year, January, February timeframe. So he's, I mean, everything is 2026. They're fairly new. Birdo, I think it came out a little bit toward the end of last year, maybe, or early beginning of this year. So Birdo's been out the longest, but all these other ones are on shelves. I found every single one of these in Target in the last couple months. So these weren't some kind of eBay purchase. They weren't super hard to find. I mean, they will get hard to find because once they're out and they sell out, then they're harder to restock. But Chain Chomp, I'm still seeing on shelves. Nabbit, I think I picked him up. He was briefly on shelves, but then I saw him on Amazon. He was plenty available on Amazon. So was Birdo. This guy I just found today, so he was just on shelves now. So they're all out there. Go look at your local store, and Jakks keeps that price the same. They're all about $10 each. Love that. The price has not changed on these guys. So, I mean, if I had to pick one I love the most out of these, it's going to be the Chain Chomp. Look at just the functionality of it. He just looks great. I mean, it's hard because all these are awesome. Nabbit looks awesome. Birdo looks awesome. If Birdo had the egg, I'd say Birdo won. But Birdo does not come with the egg, which is frustrating because Jakks does have one already tooled and ready to go. You just need to just not paint it and leave it, let it stay white. But these are the new figures. These were 3 or 4 different waves. And of course, those figures in those waves were packed with Iggy or with a Boo or with a Mario. So there are other figures that are being reissued, and they always add like 1 new figure in each wave. So these are the new figures from the last 3 or 4 waves. So they're available right now. You can get them online, or you can get them in Target or Walmart. So keep your eyes open. All right, and that's a wrap for the line right now. We're keeping our eyes open for any new ones. We're going to bring you any new announcements of additional figures. Of course, if we see anything in San Diego from Jakks this summer, we'll let you guys know that as well, bringing you, up-to-the-minute coverage of new reveals. But this was a pleasant surprise for the year. I mean, we got the movie line they had to do, so we have a lot of new entries in the standard 4-inch line as well. We're not 2.5-inch collectors, so I don't focus on that a whole lot. And I think the detail and the fun is really in the 4-inch line. And they've really started getting deeper. I'd love to see more characters from Super Mario 2 now that we got Birdo. Use a Mauser, could use a Wart, we could use all sorts of characters from Super Mario 2. Was it Fry? Was Fry Guy one of them? But there's a nice roster of characters from there that would be really colorful figures. So fingers crossed, now that we're doing more Super Mario 2, that we get some of those in the line. So that is all for this time. We'll bring you more Jakks coverage as it becomes available. Like, subscribe, and follow. See you guys next time.